Tonight it's another D&Q Legacy race. It's the 7th annual Busch Classic. Well, Zane Smith is not only a great truck racer, he's also a great sponsor, and he's Alex LaCognata's sponsor here in the D&Q Karting Series. Alex, you run with us a couple races, had some pretty good success. How have you enjoyed racing here in D&Q?
It's been awesome. I really like it. I think this is our 4th race here. Zane's helped me out a lot, and really he's the only sponsor we have right now. But you know, all the boys have been back at the shop, been working really, really hard. Troy Davis and old man named Pee Wee, they work really hard on this thing day and night. I mean, all through the work day and through the night. And we've worked really hard on the setup for this week, so I think we'll have something for them.
You know, you talked about Troy Davis, probably one of the most sought-after crew chiefs in D&Q. Are you going to be able to retain him at 1 case of beer per event?
I think so. He brought his girlfriend with him here tonight, so he's got to be pretty tame. But you know, normally when she's not here, he has at least a 12-pack, and he's usually drunk by the 8th beer. But tonight, I think we'll be really dialed in because he's got to stay focused. So.
Yeah, the contracts are a touchy thing here in D&Q for the crew chiefs. A case of beer and maybe $20, and he may leave. So what do you got to do to secure him for next year?
Honestly, the price has been going up and up, and you know, unless I get a raise next year, we might have to rediscuss our agreement.
Troy Davis, a sought-after crew chief, may not be with Alex LaCognata next year, but he says he doesn't need him anyway because he's a good racer. So we'll see how this works out.
Thank you.
Let's go to the D&Q Tech Garage, and today, JZ, classic D&Q adjustments here. We're going to touch on toe and then a little bit of wedge.
Yeah, toe's pretty much set it and forget it with these go-karts. It's really driver preference. How much scrub do you want when you go through the corner? Maybe at a track like the fair, you have a little bit more because it turns tighter. Something like Millbridge, maybe dial a little bit of the toe out, have the tires more straight up to prevent that scrub, carry more speed, and especially those little Predator engines, that's what you want, more carry. And we'll talk a little bit about wedge here too, and this has been a huge adjustment. To deal with the stagger difference, people are making 1, 2, 3 washer adjustments to get the right amount of weight on that right rear tire.
Well, this beautiful Tough Co flooring machine piloted by Leighton Sibley. Leighton, you guys have done a ton of work on this body. This thing looks way better than it came to the track last time. Looks like you got a very good group behind you. What does it feel like to come out here and compete in D&Q?
Well, first and foremost, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Corey Heim and Kevin Reed for helping me out, and Chris Lawson's been a huge part of this whole program too. And you know, I came out here one night to run Chris' kart to have fun, and I had so much fun. I even flipped the thing, but we had such a good time that I had to go out and get my own. And luckily, we have Tough Co Flooring, like you said, come on board, and it wouldn't be possible without those guys, all the guys at GMS and everyone else. So I'm just thankful to be here, you know.
Yeah, we saw you brought a lot of star power with you. We saw a lot of racers that race on a normal weekend come to watch you race. That's got to feel a little different, but cool at the same time.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, it's always good to have that cheering section. You know, I mean, what I do, I'm a PR guy, so I kind of have to be the cheerleader on the team, and to have everyone else come out and support me, it's just been awesome. I've always wanted to do this, so just thankful to have everyone out here.
So between you and Casey Heschel, the 2 fastest PR guys in D&Q, should we just have a heads-up race between the 2 of you guys?
Well, I would like to say that'd be a good idea, but frankly, I don't know if this thing's even going to run. I hope so. Last time we came out here, we had a lot of mechanical problems, so hopefully all that's behind us. And, you know, Casey, if you're watching, let's bring it, dude. I got it.
Leighton Sibley calling out Casey Heschel. Beautiful kart here tonight. Hopefully his rookie season will be a good one. Thanks, man. Good to hear from Leighton Sibley. Another packed garage here for the 7th annual Busch Classic. Lots of karts here, over 100 entries, again, to check out some of these D&Q treaded classes that have become so popular. When you think of racers, you think of people that will race anything, anytime, or involved in any kind of racing, and that's Matt Noyce. Matt, you come to my mind when I think of a racer. So I've been getting people texting me about how cheated up this thing is. Probably just messing with me, but how do you feel like you're going to do making your debut tonight?
Oh, I don't know. I just hope we make the show. Honestly, never raced a go-kart before, never raced anything before on myself, so hope we can make the race and both of our drivers and have a good night and keep it in one piece and come back next time better.
Yeah, so there's a lot of competition, like you said, and it's hard to make some of these shows. So did you get information from anybody else or try to lean on somebody to try to get a setup for this thing?
Yeah, that's the problem. Everybody has their own idea, so I've got like 4 people telling me what to do, and none of them tell me the same thing. So I don't know which way is right or wrong, but we're going to figure it out in practice here in a minute.
Yeah, loose lips sink ships when it comes to setup. So even if they're telling you something, they're probably lying to you, which you would do anyway to them too, right?
Correct, exactly. You can't give away all your secrets. You're not going to go fast that way.
So who helped you get this kart ready? You got anybody to thank for that?
No, just Cole Ignashevsky. We call him Iggy. He's going to run the Busch race, and I'm running a Pro Cup race because he used to race go-karts in Minnesota. And we started working together this year, so I said, well, I'll buy a cart, we'll go race and have some fun.
Matt Noyce looking to have some fun here tonight in the DNQ Series, making his debut. Fit Stop Performance Usac Series. On the pole tonight is Ryan Flores with a 12.362. He will be your pole sitter here for the Fit Stop Performance Usac Series. He's on the pole with John Kidwell on the outside pole for tonight's race.
Our second row will be made up of the Bad Kitty Adam Welch and Dick Timmons in the 7C.
Stephen Broy with a pretty good start, and Aaron Hodges in the next row.
Mike Melton, the series perennial favorite, and Kyle Beatty making a return start here.
Looking dapper. Charlie Kingen and Ralph Earnhardt Williams.
Old Bobby Showtime in the 5 and Eric Evans in the 6.
I think he needs a Viagra sticker on the side of that 6 there.
Sure does.
David Crops and Becky Harshaw in the next row.
Old Rob Bates in the familiar 26 and Mark Durgan in the 77D.
Grayson Cullither and Stephen Tautugis in the next row.
And Mike Connerino starting from scratch. Hopefully he'll make his way to the front here as we get going.
Gotta love this Fit Stop Performance USAC Series. Champ Buggy chassis and the treaded tires. Clones on these things as well. You can groove and sight these things. A lot of different things we've seen in the chassis as Magic Mike Melton has an onboard camera. We're starting to see a little bit of creativity in here, Jay-Z. We know that the cart on the pole has some creativity there with some of the chassis stuff, but we'll see how we police that as things go on here in the DNQ USAC Series. A full field here tonight as well. You thought buggy racing was dead, Jay-Z. It's back to life as we're going green.
Yeah, this is a great series. I mean, we're sending people home in this buggy classes. They're still 2x2x2. Bad Kitty throws it down the inside. He's trying to take P2, but he still stays there. Hornet's Nest here, still side by side throughout the field.
You know, in this class, you have that exposed right front, so you try to single yourselves out as quick as possible, but that does not look like the case here. We're in the back of this pack as we've got Steven Tauges goes around, and we've got a whole disastrous mess. Eric Evans involved in that. Oh, no, tough break for some of these guys out here.
Yeah, I think that toe is a little out of whack there. We're going to have to put some work in on that 6 and put it back on the jig, unfortunately.
Yeah, let's take a look at this and what happened here. It looks like they're just hopping there. Eric Evans nowhere to go. Look at it again from Magic Mike Melton's on board.
In there, oh, man. I think he just got in the back of the guy in front of him, tried to check up, looped it, and everyone else piled into him.
Tough break for those guys. Look at it one more time. Looks like somebody checked up here right in front of them. I don't know what really happened right there in front of Melton. Had nowhere to go. Kingen gets into him. Roy's all over Hodges and
classic ARCA break.
Yeah, classic ARCA braking there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, we got John Kidwell. They've definitely got their stuff a lot better as we go back green. Found some stuff, had some engine issues that they weren't aware of, and they're aware of it now, but it looks like he's back up front to stay as Charlie Kingen goes around on the back stretch.
Man,
tough break for him already tonight.
Yeah, maybe he needs to get a little more side force back in that bad boy, maybe move those fins around, try to keep him going straight as we'll watch the replay here one more time. Ralph
Williams cuts down right in front of Kingen. That's going to cause a spin in front of the whole field. And this is tough when everybody's checking up like that.
Yeah, it's just a case of 2 carts, 1 line. You know what I mean? It's going to be disgusting no matter how it comes out.
Look on board with Magic Mike Melton. He's got an onboard camera. He's getting a lot of action tonight.
Yeah, he's kind of in the middle here, and he just gets by. I don't know if he's got any damage in that left front spindles. We'll see here. He's getting a little aggressive here, looking for the middle. 2 carts come together, 2 rows in front of him, and there's just nowhere to go as the carts, kind of self-clear up the racetrack right into Magic Mike Melton.
Yeah, it's kind of like a modified where you just line up the bumpers and hit the guy in front of you instead of trying to rip the right front off. As Mike Contarino's out of line, and that is illegal on restarts. So he'll be put to the back of the feature, which we told everybody way beforehand. Do not jump out of line until the start-finish line. As we're back racing, it looks like we got a battle for the lead between Flores and Kyle Beatty.
Yeah, Flores, he's a name that's been popular. I would dare say he's a Hall of Famer for DNQ. Beatty gets a good run. I think it's Beatty on the outside that just got that good run, right? Or is that, am I blind?
No, that's Beatty.
That's Beatty, yeah.
Oh, Ralph Williams gets turned around there. Or cleared himself on John Kidwell. That's going to bring out the caution. Man, we have trouble getting going. Mike Magic Melton got the best camera in the house here tonight. He's seeing all the action.
Yeah, he's a magnet as he's just minding his own business coming into 3 and 4. They wreck each other on the straightaway, and somehow he still makes it through it. And this is why, guys, we don't want you jumping on a line on the restart. We have a hard enough time running under green. We don't need you guys throwing it 3 wide at the start-finish line. Let's at least get the race going again, you know?
Yeah, that's a tough thing about these carts right here. They're hard to see around, and the racing's really good when you have guys that are talented out there. But right now we have a couple NDFs, and it's been really tough to get going green.
Yeah, poor Magic Mike can't get away from him, it seems like.
No, absolutely not. Looks like actually the contacts made him halfway decent. He's already past half the field. He's already up to about 8th.
You don't have to make a washer adjustment. You just bend the right front 4 degrees on the spindle. It makes the adjustment for you.
Yeah, look at Magic Mike Melton. I'm sure his toes adjusted at some point in this night with all the contact that he's had, but doesn't seem to be hurting him very much.
No, he's doing pretty well. I've noticed all the carts are about 1 line off the bottom here. Bad Kitty's been trying to throw some moves in the bottom right on the white line, but the Fast Groove seems to be about 1 lane up off the bottom for these Usac Fit Stop Performance Usac carts here tonight.
Yeah, and it just helps them keep their momentum, it seems like, as get out of that onboard camera and watch towards the front of this field. You know, Flores had problems making the feature last time that cart came out. Now tonight, he is leading from the pole and doing a great job while he's doing it. And Kyle Beatty as well, the SKE carts we've seen really fast. So you got a trick chassis, SKE chassis, and I'm not sure what Dick Timmons is on, but there's all different chassis manufacturers playing out here.
Yeah, we've had these companies have a dust cover on the Champ Cart jigs for a while, and they're blowing them off, getting them back into production here because they can't make them fast enough. People are just shutting up the door, throwing them, $5,000 in cash and saying, "Build me a damn go-kart." So it's a good business driver for teams here in the Southeast.
Definitely a better safety option with at least a cage around you, as we've seen with some of these D&Q races. Guys flip. A little bit more safe. I wouldn't say it's exactly safe, but definitely a little bit better. Is Melton going to make the pass on Mike Contarino, or are they going to try as 2 past champions beating fenders?
Yeah, Contarino started scratching the field. He's making a good run here as the yellow's out for someone slow in the back straight.
Kyle Beatty has an engine issue. He's going to have to retire for the night. Tough break. He was running 2nd. So that puts Dick Timmons making his debut on the outside front row with Adam the Bad Kitty Welsh right behind Flores as we go back green.
Yeah, I'd keep an eye on Bad Kitty. He's got that SKE rolling and the SKE chassis rolling. He's trying to stay on the bottom, but the run is that 1 lane up. You can see that prep groove starting to, well, there's no prep here, obviously, but that rubber groove starting to build in on the racetrack. The PCP's up a little bit above that as Mike Melton's venturing into it. Contarino finally clearing him. As we got a battle for the lead here, Timmons keep trying to work his way past Flores, but can't quite get the move done.
It's going to be tough to pass Ryan Flores here tonight. He's extremely fast, and he's got that 2nd lane pretty well on lock off of 3 and 4. It seems to be where he's going to make his move is going to be the bottom of 1 and 2 as he almost gets to that left rear.
I'm telling you, this production value, this shot from the infield is fantastic. I fully expect the production crew here at D&Q to get an Emmy when this is all said and done here. We're bringing some great value to YouTube.
As you see in that graphic, we've had 3 different winners in these last couple races, and yet to have a repeat winner here in this series. And that just tells you about the competition and track conditions. We haven't raced on the same track about all year.
Yeah, but between Mother Nature throwing a tropical deluge here, it looks like Tauges was slow on the outside of turn 2. I don't know if that'll bring out a yellow or not. But the series is hyper competitive. We're still sending people home. You got people like Dick Timmons making their debut, putting at P2 right now, giving a D&Q veteran all they can handle right now. As they're side by side through 1 and 2. Timmons leaning on the left side panel of Flores, but Flores powers off the outside. He hangs on to P1.
And look who's right behind him right there, the Bad Kitty, Adam Welsh. A past winner so far this season. Looks like he is sneaking up to this battle right here. It could get pretty interesting with only a few laps left.
Yeah, Skip can't run the line he wants to. when Dick Timmons gets to the inside like he is here. And if those two make contact, Bad Kitty's experienced enough, he will take advantage of any mistake they make as he throws it down the inside, but our 5 to go caution stops him from making the pass.
Gotta love that 5 to go caution. The patented DNQ 5 to go. We're going to see what Flores has. He's dominated this race. Can he take this thing home? Green flag is out. We're getting ready to find out as Flores takes the bottom on the restart. That gives Dick Timmons the advantage. He's going to skate out to the lead, and we're going to see in 3 and 4.
We may need a huge slide job here as Flores is on the inside. Timmons with a good run. Bad Kitty 3 wide. He takes P2 as there's 4 to go here.
Flores hit a bump. Looks like he may have shut the chain on that piece. That gives the lead to Dick Timmons. Adam Welsh in second. Mike Melton with his thing beat all up, back up to the 3rd position.
Let's call it Mike Contarino coming from dead last. He's racing for 4th. That's a good visit to the pay window if he can keep it up as he loses 1, potentially 2 spots here as we're coming to 2 to go.
Gotta love Dick Timmons in his DNQ debut here in the Usac series. Looked like he had a good piece to challenge Flores. Flores has a mechanical issue. He's going to take the lead from him as the white flag is out. 1 more lap for that Nitro manufacturing machine.
Will Magic Mike Mellon have anything for the Bad Kitty? He's within a carton length heading into 3. Looks like Dick Timmons is going to take the win, and Bad Kitty will hold on to P2.
Oh yeah, it was a good race. We led most of it, but 5 to go caution, and we got the race in there. I got through that bump a little bit hard and knocked the chain off, but really cool to come out here and drive this trick car with Mark Mode and come back to DNQ. And every time I come back here, I feel like I'm a little bit a part of it because we started it, Carmen with you, and even back to the Field Fair Fairgrounds. So it's always cool to come back and race with you, Eddie.
Good night.
Thanks.
Dick Timmons down here in Victory Lane. First DNQ win, Dick. I mean, you had to go through Flores. He was picking the inside every restart. Do you think eventually you're going to get him on the top?
Yeah, I mean, we've been running this Wednesday deal, and he was getting lucky on them starts, man. If we got it together on the top like we did there at the end, it was game over. You got to be on the top, man. He was good all night. It just played out in our hand at the end, and here we are.
These races are always hard to predict, especially with the 5 to go. So what were you thinking there at the end?
Honestly, I needed it. We had a good restart before that, and it come back for the caution, and I knew he was good, but I needed that 5 to go restart to tear some stuff up and get a couple people sideways, and we get going.
Dick Timmons, your winner finally in the USAC division here at Millbridge Speedway.
First start.
Well, Adam Welch, P2. I mean, not in victory lane, but you didn't self-implode, so that's a good thing. What more did you need there at the end?
Literally for the seat bolt to not break on the right rear and the seat fall out of it. We ran the whole race holding the seat up, and as much lead's on this thing, it's a little tough to hold up, but it was a good race. I mean, Dick had me center off at the beginning, and I found a little bit, but then he had me entry to center. So congrats to Dick. 54 was quick. Kudos to Mark Mode and all them guys. I seen Antley was here, so when you bring Antley out, you're looking for speed. So he found it, and they were quick. And Kyle had a good run going. He passed me and was up in second, and I guess the motor gave up. So we'll get the Speed Clinic motors and Power Max stuff all tuned up and come back again. I mean, second ain't worth holding your head down on.
Adam Welch, a solid P2 here this evening. Magic Mike Milton, fastest truck driver this side of the Mississippi, finishes P3. What did you need to get up there battling? Flores was really strong, and Dick seemed like the class of the field.
Well, I needed more laps. I got involved in that early caution. I don't know if I caused it or what the hell, but anyway, I got involved in that and took me to the back, and then just had to work my way back from that, and there was just melee everywhere, and we got lucky a couple more times and got through some of it. And then once we got to where we could run in, me and Contarino, man, I was just glued to his back bumper for the whole damn race. I just needed to get around him, but he was holding me up a little, but he was still fast. So it was a good race with him. I don't know what happened. Somebody broke here on the front stretch, and all hell broke loose again, and we come out of that pretty good. I was making a little ground on Adam. Like I said, just kind of run out of laps. Needed just what happens when you don't qualify in the front. So can't say enough. Thanks to Turbo for helping, Steven, everybody that helps us with these things back at the shop, mainly Steven. getting them here. So just glad we came out of it in one piece. It could have been worse. So we'll see if we can do it again. We got another race to run. So
Much needed podium for Magic here this evening.
Finish line Wash Pros Dash Series. On the SRI pole will be Chris Lawson with a 12.391. He will start from the pole along with Robert Showalter on the outside.
Blaine Donahue in the 48 and Ryan Ayers in the 71.
Brian Shaw, Stephen Tauges in the next row.
Fourth row's got Magic Mike Melton and Dylan Latour in the 84.
Charlie Furman and Jen Welsh will round out the next row.
Chris Britt and Elaine Hughes in the 29.
Dylan Capello and Jamie Edwards.
Zach Campologna and Chris Allison in the 7.
Todd Casterlin Earnhardt, Evan Snyder will drive the 34 tonight. Around at the field for the Finish Line Wash Pros Dash Series, 390 stock Predator. Small treads all the way around and gear roll. So these guys are pretty much in the same playing field. If you're a little bit heavier like you and I, Jay-Z, you get a little bit of a gear roll. Bobby Showtime starting from the bottom. Leader chose the top. We'll have an in-car camera tonight. And we've seen a lot of interesting racing here in the Dash Series. Kind of one of those beginner series that we've seen in DNQ, but definitely growing quite a bit. A lot of people save money by only buying the small tires, and that gives them the ability to come race a little bit cheaper than it would be running Pro Cup or Busch as we're green. And look at that run off the top from Lawson. My goodness.
Yeah, the starting on the top's the way to go here. We saw what happened to Flores in the previous race, trying to start in the bottom before the chain came off. That let Dick Timmons get the run on him. But Lawson's putting some distance between himself and the rest of the field as they're all side by side. But Bob, talking about this specific class, it started off as a beginner series, but as someone spins and loops it into the infield here, that's not Latour. It's who's in the 14 there tonight?
Jen Welsh goes for a quick spin. Tough break. That's going to bring out the caution. She got stuck, so we will rack them back up and go green again. Bobby Showtime and Chris Lawson, kind of the two big names in this series. Mike Melton, a past champion. Ryan Ayers, another one. Guys who have consistently won in the D&Q series. And your man Brian Shaw as well there, Jay-Z, towards the middle back of the pack here.
Yeah,
but Showalter's got a stranglehold on this series.
He does. Bobby Showtime, especially when we were still prepping the track for the top, when we made that first switch to the treads, he was the guy that seemed to have it figured out, and whatever information he had in a notebook, and he passed around to his team members as we're under caution again here for a bumper in the middle of the racetrack.
And that'll park somebody for tonight's event. You gotta have a bumper. So if that falls off, guess what? You get to get parked. As we go back green, look at Ryan Ayers. Haven't really talked about him much this season. But that Josh Long machine, the tribute to Josh Long, looks awesome out there towards the front. Reminds me of when Josh used to race in this series. Cool to see Ryan Ayers giving tribute to him, and it's good to see him back towards the front. He's been away for a little while.
Yeah, some of these D&Q veterans have been struggling against the new blood that's coming into the sport, but the cream rises to the top, as they always say, and Ayers is putting on a good show tonight, running P3, holding it down.
Yeah, the old Macho Man Randy Savage. I love that quote. The cream will always rise to the top, brother. Mike Melton, another one. You talk to Mike Melton and a couple of the other guys that are racing this series, and they go, yeah, we tried different stuff, and it was working, and then we got off in left field. I mean, how often does that happen in races? It's got to happen.
As we're on board with Bobby Showtime here, watching an artist paint his picture, take some notes at home with fellow children watching the race here. It happens a lot, right? So when this, especially this oval racing, this left-hand only stuff, you're fighting for a tenth or two. So you'll quickly change a 0.5% here, a 1/4 inch of stagger there, and all of a sudden you get 4 or 5 changes deep, and you're way out in left field, and you'll go back to baseline and pick up the 3 or 4 tenths you lost when you're trick fucking yourself, basically. You're trying to do too much. Go-kart racing's been around a long time. These are still just unsprung or chassis with no suspension on them. Nothing that's really changed the type of tire we've been using. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Find a couple tenths here and there in your driving, maybe in the engine if it's there. But you don't need to be changing 3 cross washers and throwing the kitchen sink at it if you're only missing 2 tenths. But Chris Lawson here, he's under attack here from Bobby Showtime. Showtime's giving him some pressure.
He gets a good run off of 3 and 4 for running the bottom. And looks like they're nose to tail here in 1 and 2. But I think a lot of it has to do, Jay-Z, with track conditions. I mean, there's some nights we come here and it's a little bit drier like it is tonight. And then there's other nights we come, it is completely wet and soaked. So as we watch Bobby Showtime try to throw the right side to the left side of Lawson's cart, just can't quite do it. And look at that exhaust glowing on Lawson's cart.
Jeez.
Look, I know that we have certain rules here in D&Q, but just seeing that alone is fairly impressive.
Yes.
It just goes to show you racers are going to race no matter what here in D&Q.
Yep. And Lawson, he's won a few races, and as far as I know, he's never been thrown out, right?
Oh, he has definitely been thrown out.
Oh, he has been thrown out. Okay,
as,
never mind.
Yeah.
Take that back.
Showalter gets to that left rear. He's going to fight for this lead. We are very close to the 5 to go. Let's see if he can make this pass. Just can't do it. Feel like he's just as good as Lawson. Just cannot make the pass. And this is fun to watch. These two duke it out. But, I mean, the 3rd, 4th, or 5th are pretty far behind of them right now.
Yeah, the top two are in their own zip code right now. And I just appreciate Bobby Showtime being such a gentleman. Lawson's got that brand new white side panel, and there isn't a mark on it yet. If it was some other drivers we've talked about in the series, that white bodywork would be all used up already, and Lawson would be in the fence somewhere.
See him side drafting. That might let 3rd catch them here. You know, momentum based here with low horsepower. That might let Ayers get to him, but my goodness, it's some great. And you know what? Showalter could go in there and just knock him around.
Yep.
Like we've seen that 900 times in D&Q. These two are racing each other clean, and that's what you got to respect.
Yeah, absolutely. These two are putting on a clinic. I hope, like I said before, people are taking notes as we're at our 5 to go caution.
That's how you're supposed to race. Well, interesting. Showalter took the top. And, you know, I wouldn't put it past Ryan Ayers to go out here and clean out the leader as we go back green. See what happens here. 5 to go in D&Q.
Yep, Ayers, a little separation. He tries to get that left front. He can't hold it. Bobby Showtime looking like a genius, ready to put a move. He's down to the inside of Lawson. We're side by side for the lead here as we come to 4 to go.
Can't quite clear Lawson. Can he do it here in the next 4 laps? We'll see Ayers get pushed out of the way. Showalter's going to go back down into 3 on the inside.
Showalter, he's on the inside of coming off of turn 4. He can't quite get it done as it's pandemonium behind him for 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th with an impressive infield shot here. Bobby Showtime running out of time, running out of laps to try to get the move done cleanly. Is he going to lose patience and move him as we have 3 to go?
Yes, it seems like that bump in 3 and 4 is going to be the spot where Showalter's going to make the move. We have 2 carts around off of 3 and 4. We stay green. Showalter going to take the white flag with Chris Lawson. Let's see what he can do here in 3 and 4.
We're down to a half a lap left. We got a full cart lane. Showtime sends it in there deep. He turns a hard left. He can't get it done. Chris Lawson takes the win.
Lawson in victory lane here at Millbridge Speedway for the Dash Series, and what a fight it was between you and Bobby Showtime. Had to be nervous he was going to use you up at some point, but you guys kept it clean. It was a really good battle.
Yeah, I felt like that was as good as it gets right there, man. It was a lot of fun. I appreciate him racing me clean. He definitely could have used me up anytime he wanted, so I do appreciate that, and I definitely would have showed him the same courtesy. So like I said, it was cool. It was fun to do. Hopefully it was fun to watch.
It was fun to watch. You got 2 really fast cars tonight, able to take one to victory lane, man. What's been your, I don't want to say your secret, but shot out of a cannon the past few times here in D&Q?
Man, just getting everything right. You know, I've done a better job reading the track, air pressure, stuff like that, stuff that I didn't know anything about when we first started doing this. So it's like I was fast, but not fast enough, right? So I felt like we've upped our game there, and I feel like that's been the biggest thing.
Chris Lawson to victory lane here in the D&Q Series. Showalter finishes P2 here in the Dash Series. What a fight between you and Lawson. You got every chance to use him up, but you ran him clean. What a really good race that was.
Yeah, I just couldn't get underneath them and get them off the corners here. I just got too bogged down. Maybe if I would have put some more air in the tires or I got some more roll speed or something. But, yeah, that was a hell of a race. Good driving by him and me not just, know him, I guess, and door the shit out of him in the straightaway. And, yeah, it's a Recon. I put a new set of tires on it and ran good. I got a brand new Recon for the Cup race that we qualified on the pole. And see how it works out.
Bobby Showtime, a solid P2 here this evening. Dylan Capello Solid P3. Are you getting any speed secrets from your boy over there in Victory Lane?
Well, I don't know. We lost a fuel line in practice and had to switch engines, and it was just a crazy night. But came home third, so not terrible. But yeah, he's taught me everything I know.
I mean, not a bad teacher in Victory Lane. These races can get pretty rough, and you had to start somewhat deep in the field. How'd you get up through there?
I used the front bumper a little bit, but I followed I think the 49 for a while, and I could not get by him. I was way faster than him, just couldn't pass him clean. Then we got the 5 to go caution and just made it work. Beat and banged my way through there. So it is what it is, but that's how you got to race sometimes. So it was fun though. Didn't wreck anybody.
That's always a plus here in the DNQ Series. Solid P3 for Dylan Capello here in the Dash Series.
Auto Lube and Repair Pro Cup Series. The SRI pole goes to Zach Stroop with a 12.945. And you can tell this track definitely got a lot faster, JZ, as we look at the front row here for tonight's Pro Cup lineup. John Kidwell and Zach Stroop.
Yeah, we saw a half a second quicker for the cage cards here with Ryan Ayers in the 71 and Crossthread in the 92.
And like we said before, this is the Pro Cup and Busch. We've got a couple more races left here before these series combine into National Championship Series. We've already heard from Nick Stroop and Eric Riggins that they want to just come down and run ARCA because they don't want to run another kart. So it's going to open the door for some of these guys that are barely in 10th in points to try to sneak in there and get a spot. And it ought to be interesting to watch when we get to this. And the champion could come from one of these series here. Could come from Pro Cup. I don't know what your thoughts are on that as you look at the series info here for the Auto Lube and Repair Pro Cup Series.
Yeah, as we're sitting here looking at 390, our Hoosiers, obviously no prep, and there is a gear rule for this this Auto Lube and Repair class here. Looking at the points here, this is the war we were just talking about. Zarapata, Smith, Teasley, Yost. These guys are all in flux. There's some people making some changes as we show the onboard here with Ben Murphy. Maybe that 11th, 12th place go-kart, now they're in if they show up, make all the races, just have a couple good top 10 finishes. As we're here, we're green here, and we're underway, turning into turn 1, nice and clean so far. We'll see how it shakes out going down the back straightaway.
But that's what goes to show to you. It's the race inside the race. Yeah, we have guys that are winning races, Kidwell, Stroop, and a lot of these other guys, but we're looking at Craig Smith, who's on the bubble right now. He's, right at 10th. So those mid-pack battles become more important as we're watching Stroop lead this race. Those guys back here, they're racing just as hard to try to make the top 10 or on purpose not make the top 10 to try to run for the ARCA championship.
Yeah, it all depends on where you want that hardware to look on your shelf. You know what I mean? When you're bringing home ladies, are they going to be impressed with that first place for ARCA or that second place for Pro Cup? You know what I mean? For the national championship, what do you want to see? As Ben Murphy throws it to the inside of Ayers, he puts himself P3. As he clears it, pushes up the racetrack, he'll hold on to that position as Zach Stroop still barely leads this race.
Yeah, John Kidwell to the inside of Stroop, trying to take that lead away with Murphy and that beef tips machine. They just keep getting better and better each race. And Ryan Ayers, who we talked about again in 4th, coming back, starting to make a comeback here as the top 4 kind of on top of each other as we're back on board with Ben Murphy.
Yeah, Murphy's hungry here. These guys are having a real wide entry, leaving the inside open. Murphy tries to stuff it in there, but I think you're seeing that wide entry is a little more favorable as Murphy's pushing up off the corner and exit. Can't quite get the run on center off that the other two drivers can.
And I love the blue exhaust. You're starting to see it in Kidwell's too. I don't know what these guys got going on, but hey, you know what? It's racing, right? So the top 4 have got something figured out. Their exhausts are a little hot as Murphy gets in the left rear, and we've got a wreck down the backstretch. Shoot and Lyons. It's going to bring out a caution. Looks like Shoot got to him a little bit. Going to bring out the caution there. Murphy on that bottom lane, I think it's a good choice if you get to gain a row, which is what he did there.
Yeah, he's ultimately improving track positions with back to green. And he has a chance of beating Stroop here to turn number 1. He does. Can he hang on? Nope, that outside line prevails. And Murphy is in danger of losing 3rd place here to Ayers. He's trying to hang on the bottom as 4th and 5th. Crossthread Craig Smith has caught this group here, and he's trying to make a name for himself.
Yeah, you look at these guys pretty much lined up, nose to tail off these restarts. Bob Winan doing a great job. Brandon Connard in that orange number 22 doing a pretty good job as well. He favors the wet tracks as we're watching Kidwell now take the lead. Zach Stroop trying to get it back from Kidwell. Looks like widening into third.
Yeah, that's Conard there in that orange car. I thought it was Craig Crossroad there for a minute. As Murphy's trying to gain a few spots back here as we see the team or the cars power through 3 and 4. Conard had a couple of big wins at the end of, I think it was 2020, and we were expecting him to be a powerhouse name in D&Q. But the last few races he's run, he's been quick, but he hasn't shown the dominance he had at the end of 2020 there. I'm hoping with some changes, maybe a change of crew chief, and maybe switching to Busch Light instead of Busch Heavy, he'll find a few tenths and be able to get back to the front here.
We're on board with Ben Murphy going for, look at that exhaust, my goodness. Whew. That's got to be pretty hot. We're on board with Ben Murphy here, as I'm sure his eyes are watering. He's behind this 4 cart, and that just might be the Predator engine. I mean, unless everybody's doing it, I have no idea what's going on there, but it's pretty interesting to see it, that 4 cart right in front of Ben Murphy, and he's going to try to run down Ryan Ayers. But talk about Brendan Conard, yeah, I mean, it comes and goes. Brendan Conard admittedly said that he had, and that thing just probably blew up right there. The 4, going to have to park it for the night. Probably blew that thing up running nitro in the oil, but that happens. Melted the piston out of it. But Conard had a really good end of the year in 2020, like we said. But he said he sold that car, and then he changed chassis manufacturers, and now it's not as good, and it just tumbles into one decision leads to like a whole season of not running good.
Man, there's something about how you get a seat in a go-kart the right way, right? You get it mounted perfect. There's no bind, there's no flex, and especially on dirt and with these treads, there isn't as much bite as you'd normally get with the prep classes. You can put thousands of laps in that chassis, and it'll still hold its shape, right? It'll still transfer weight the right way. Some guys, we were talking about, tuning yourselves out. Some guys will hop around to the latest and greatest and jump from, chassis to chassis to chassis, trying to find a couple tenths, and throw away a chassis that's perfectly good. Like for me, I have a 2012 Triton at home that I will not get rid of because I know whenever I unload it, I'm at least in the ballpark. Right? There's nothing I have to do except maybe a washer here, a quarter inch of stagger there to really make the thing run. As we have a caution here from I'm not sure who went around.
5 to go.
Oh, that was quick.
5 to go. We're digging on this thing. But yeah, I know what you're saying. I had a 2000 Legend chassis. I think run 42% cross around here, and it would just dig small tubing as we go back green. It's just weird how the things work out. Sometimes you get the right package, and it just hauls the mail, and then you sell it, get something different, and it's not as good.
Yeah, that happens.
Kidwell on the outside will jump out to the lead, but the real story is back here in 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th in this Hornet's nest.
Yeah, we got Conard trying to make his way through. Is there 2x2x2? Murphy on the outside of him. Murphy does get the spot. Ayers gets roughed up in the left rear a little bit. Not sure what happened there. And is that Lyons that goes to the inside again?
Lyons again around. We stay green, and it looks like Conard is going to get past Ayers and Murphy. He might squeak out a top 3 after all this tonight.
That pay window will pay you a lot of Busch Light here at the end of the night for finishing P3 if he can hang on. 6th, 7th, and 8th is an absolute mess back there, still side by side. But I think Kidwell's got this one in the bag, barring a huge driver mistake as we come to 1 to go.
John Kidwell has won a race so far this year. He's going to go ahead and take another one, but this time it's in the Auto Lube and Repair Pro Cup Series.
Johnny Kidwell here in victory lane for the Pro Cup class. Johnny, man, you took the lead early and didn't look back. This thing was dialed in.
Yeah, I had a good battle there with the 2, and it was kind of a tough field there, and I was trying to figure out how the best way to pass him. And I feel like if I can get to his bumper and kind of just get him up out of the groove a little bit, I can turn underneath him, and it worked out that way. And after that, we never looked back. You never know with them 5 to go restarts. Last race here, we got one taken away from us, but we won it in the tech shed afterwards. But it was a great night. My brother still got one more in this go-kart here for the Busch race, so hopefully he can do the same thing and go 2 for 2 tonight. I can't thank everybody that helps me with this. Kinder, Barkman, and especially my brother Anthony. Like I said, I tell him every time in the interview, he puts his heart and soul into this thing and make us come out here and have a good time, and this is a big plus.
Johnny Kidwell in victory lane here in the Pro Cup division. Zach Stroop, P2, led some laps. Was it driver fatigue or did the cart give up on you?
The cart gave up on me a little bit. Well, actually, his was just that much better than mine. We missed it just a little bit on the tire choice, but is what it is. We had a good cart. Nick did a great job tuning this thing all week, and got to thank my wife, my family out here helping. Jeff Smith, everybody who helps on this go-kart, man. We're getting close. We just need to get that one more spot.
Zach Stroop, solid run, finishes second. The Mount Holly Mistletoe Fergie Time 2.0, whatever we call him, Brandon Connard, solid P3. Honestly, gifted a little bit, I feel like. Talk about it.
Yeah, it's definitely a gift. They got them all botched up down there, and I was in the right place, right time. Last couple races, I've been on the other end of the deal, so it was nice for it to fall my way. Just missed it a little. I don't know. The competition's so tough now, man. I mean, last year and 2 years ago, there was a tenth, 2 tenths, half a second difference in the top 10. Now it's like less than a tenth. And so you're splitting hairs out there and missed it by a little bit. And I ended up P3 and got lucky. I mean, we still had a pretty decent piece. I mean, I think we just made a couple wrong adjustments. We'll try again.
The real question is, Chris is down here holding the camera, looking like an idiot. I don't know. What is he doing?
He's out of his element. I don't know. He's trying to be cool or something. I don't know, but we'll let him have his moment out here.
Well, the real Fergie Time finishes P3 tonight.
Take a look at the Escape Pool Cleaning Cup Series. Robert Showalter on the pole with a 12.631, repping the 631, and he will start on a pole with Adam Welsh on the outside pole. There was 0 for the invert. He rolled a 0, so we're not inverting anyone as Chris Bailey might go out in the next round.
But good for him. Strong Island. David Odell, got Todd Chaffee in a Broy-labeled machine. James Stanley Jr., he's returning to the series here, and Todd Everson.
Yeah, he paid his fine money, so there is an extra $300 rolled into tonight's feature. $500 to win, I believe, and a couple other dollars to finish second and third. Pretty good payday for this Cup Series. Got to thank Escape Pool Cleaning for their sponsorship here. And this series, these carts are pretty fast with the clone engines and treads, and they put on an amazing show with all these racers in here. AKRA, NKA clones, no prep, 410, May Groover site. And that trophy at the end of the year, I love that thing, the old Winston Cup trophy.
Absolutely. It's a conversation piece. You should see all the text messages and group chats go around for the guy who gets that trophy at the end of the year. Everyone's jealous. Everyone wants it. As we're on board with Mike, we're out here starting on the outside of the second row. We'll see what he can get done. He's a top competitor here. I know him and I believe Mark Ellis have an alliance here, and they share notes and kind of work out of the same shop. Hopefully a route does well here. I know he's got a big cheering section of the fans. We'll see how this plays out.
Yeah, the bad kitty Adam Welsh has been the one to watch here in the Cup Series lately. He's been really fast. We've won a race so far this year, but I mean, even it's good when the competitors are saying, oh, we got to tear him down or he's cheating. It's always good to hear that from your competition. But he's doing a great job as we're on board with Mike Rout. We're going to watch him take the green with this whole group as we go green. We're going to stay green on board with Mike Rout to check out another camera angle we don't really look at.
Bobby Showtime having the high side there. Number 4 slides up into him. Rout tries to get underneath. He's in the left rear. He hangs on to the 4th spot as he's getting challenged on the outside by the number 55, that Broy label machine. I forgot the name of the driver. I apologize, but Chaffee. That's right. Chaffee making a good name for himself here early on in the event.
It's weird in 3 and 4. You got that little bump in there, and the guys try to run to the outside of it, but then 1 and 2, everybody's a bottom feeder. So it just seems like it could really upset the cart if you hit the left rear on that cut. Like Adam Welsh just missed it as Showalter gets to the inside.
Yeah, we were talking during the break here, Bob, about air pressures and how the setup's evolved over the last 2 years of tread racing, and air pressure keeps coming up and up and up and up, and I'm wondering if that's making it a little less forgiving through the bumps and the cart's a little more unstable. You've really got to pitch, have that weight set, and make sure you carry the cart through the turn. You can't have any rut or bump upset the path, the line your cart's taken.
It's crazy how setups evolve here in D&Q. We've talked to people that run really low air. We've talked to people that run high air. We've talked to people low wedge, high wedge. Everybody's all over the map, but it works. And I don't know if it's got stuff to do with chassis manufacturers or anything. As we go on board with James Stanley Jr. in this 18 machine, he is right in the middle of it, right in the thick of this thing. As his camera is mounted right behind his visor, so what you see is exactly what he sees.
This is a great shot. This gives the fans at home while watching our race a chance to understand what what level of fitness or lack of fitness the driver may have at any point in time. When this camera all of a sudden starts tilting to the right and it's at a 45-degree angle, you know that guy's about to blow chunks through his helmet. But Stanley, he's a professional. He's been around the sport a long time as we're doing dual onboards here in Escape Pool Cleaning Cup Series. They're putting on a show here this evening.
To your top left is Mike Rout, and that is the cart right in front of James Stanley Jr., who is in the bottom right. So you're getting to see what the guy in front of him seeing, the guy behind him seeing. And this Escape Pool Cleaning Cup Series has just got great competition, and the carts are so close. That's what makes it a great show.
Yeah, you can see Rout's line here, especially in 3 and 4. He ends up entering a little high, tries to get the cart to pitch and drive off low. And he does get a better run than the driver in the 4 there, but he can't quite get enough to get alongside and get the pass done as the 4 slides up a little bit too much, giving Rout another look, but still can't quite get it done as we see Stanley right on the back of that 18, pushing him for all he's worth.
Yeah, it looks like Stanley cuts through 1 and 2 better, just has trouble finishing the turn off of 1 and 2. Well, the bad kitty Adam Welsh out here leading, continuing his leading ways here in the Cup Series. Chris Bailey having a really good season so far this year. He's up towards the top part of the points here, and just one of those quiet guys who just does a really good job. As the caution is out, let's see what happened here. Okay.
I didn't quite catch it, but
neither did I.
Right?
Great.
One of those
Great.
debris cautions to make sure Chase Elliott gets a win, you know?
must have been having a drink or something when he played the replay on there. Back green. And, Bailey gets a little free there off the corner. Tough break for him as he's going to go back to, 8th. Mark Ellis there right in front of him. It's a tough deal.
Yeah, these restarts are tough, man, especially in this Escape Pool Cleaning Cup Series. These are the cream of the crop, as they say, as far as drivers go in DNQ. These are the most horsepower engines. These are the on the treads. These are the guys that have the most work to do, as we got 2 tangled up there in 3 and 4.
Yep, that'll bring out a caution. And, got one on the wall over there. Stanley and Welsh on the front row for this restart. Contarino jumping out of line again. So we told these guys in the driver's meeting, we're going to put you to the back of the finishing order if you jump out of line on a restart. If you're a lane out of line, it's over. We're putting you to the back, even if it's after the fact. So he'll be finishing last for this feature. It's just rules that we're coming up with to stop the cautions from happening. But up towards the front here is an exciting race. We've got Stanley in second behind Adam Welsh. Robert Showalter, Mike Rout, and Chris Bailey are top 5.
Yeah, this series is tough as we got, is that Ayers on the inside of Showalter trying to make a move, or that was Rout?
That's Rout, yes. Mike Rout there on the inside. Just the competition alone, it's you're racing so hard and those guys are so even that it's really hard to get around them. And, you think you get just a little bit, you inch up to their bumper, and then they drive away off the corner. It's got to be frustrating.
It's tough here. And, everyone, I think those are 5 to go caution there.
Yes, 5 to go here. Welsh trying to do a little trickery here on the restarts. Going to sit down on Showalter's door as we go back green. See if it works out for him.
Yeah, Showtime's got a good card. It's just not good enough. The bad kitty is walking away with this. We're 3 wide here for the 3rd spot. Everyone's pointing straight, but man, they're running out of real estate and leaning on each other pretty good here, Bob.
Yeah, and the runs that are coming from behind these guys when they make a mistake are gigantic runs. These guys have coming right back to it right off the bat. Only have a few laps to go left in this Cup Series feature. Looks like Adam Welsh may take it home, but Showalter's getting to that back bumper.
He's trying, but you're right. With these higher horsepower engines, these guys actually have to... someone's around.
Curtis Markham hits the safer barrier. Thank goodness that's there. Tough break for Curtis Markham. Man, that was a little bit of a hard hit. Let's take a look at it again. Chafee gets spun by Contarino. Nowhere to go for Curtis Markham. Great safety initiative there. He knew it was coming. He clinched up pretty good, but tough break.
It's puckered tight. Tough break for him. I hope that axle's not too bent. It looks like he's still out there, so you have to park it. So that's good for him. You have to go to the parts trailer.
Few laps to go. Let's see if Welsh can get his little restart deal going. Green flag background. Mike Rout stays with him. Now they're side by side.
And the whole field caught him. We're 3 wide for the lead, heading into the 3. 4 car on the bottom. Bad Kitty gets used up pretty good. He's still in the lead as we're 1 to go.
4 wide, 5 make it 6 wide down the backstretch for the lead. Showalter gets out to the front. Welsh gets in there. Bailey gets in there. They're 4 or 5 wide. Bailey's going to come out with the win. What a finish. Let's take a look at that again, JZ. One of the best finishes we've ever seen here in DNQ, let alone the Cup Series. Let's break it down in this last lap.
Yeah, I think Adam Welch made a mistake pinching down Mike Rout the way he did. It'll let the rest of the field, let Bailey get to the inside. It'll let Showalter get involved. He gets Bailey sideways, slowing up the group even more. That allows the rest of the field to basically run them over. It's 6 wide on the inside. The 4 cart that was stuck on the inside earlier tonight, he tries to make a run. Bailey turns back underneath, uses up the whole field, and he gets the win. That's fans here as we're on board with Mike Rout. Let's watch this. No side panel is safe. Every driver, a handful of left-hand lock here, trying to make sure they don't lose it. Beating and banging to the finish line. This is like Ricky Craven and Jeff Burton at Darlington 15 years ago, just using each other up coming to the line.
And look at the fans. They're pumped. I mean, what a finish there for Chris Bailey. The fans enjoyed that quite a bit here at the Millbird Speedway. I mean, just an amazing finish for Chris Bailey. He's going to remember this one for a long time. Let's go down and talk to our winner from the Cup Series.
Down here in Victory Lane, holy smokes, Chris Bailey, what in the world? You were like 19th on the white flag.
Yeah, man, I just had to go for it. I was out of brakes, I was trying to get the car a little more stable in the corner, get a better run on Showalter and Adam, because they were really good, and they could get the bumps a little bit better than I could. So and then they ended up using up. So 8 to go, there was no brakes. So I just had to stay wide ass open and hold on. And I used several people for a bumper, but had to do it to win. And last lap was wild.
Yeah, I mean, you guys were 9 wide. I mean, for sure, a DNQ all-timer. What were you thinking coming out of 4 with the lead?
Man, I don't know even what to think, man. And we were, I didn't know if we was going to make it through it or not. Everybody got bound up and stuff. I was just waiting for somebody to fly by on the inside, but luckily it didn't happen and pulled off the win.
The man had no brakes, all luck, and now he's got some cold beer in Victory Lane. Chris Bailey, your winner here this evening. Second time we're interviewing Bobby Showtime tonight. Second time you're not in Victory Lane, though. Can you describe that last lap?
I thought I was going to be pretty good when they all 4 started hitting each other over here, and I got onto the inside of them, and I think I was in the lead on the backstretch. And then not sure, there was another lane below me that we still got down there, but someone jumped my left rear, got on my shoulder, got me all slowed up, and I guess it was 46 past me. Not bad. I need to figure out these restarts. They're killing me on these restarts. I don't know if I need to work on the clutch or send the motor back off, but I'll take 2 seconds. We points race and can't win them all, but finish in the top 3 and win the championship at the end. It's gonna be fine with that.
It was you and Welch there. Did you feel like you had a little bit on Welch before all that went down?
Yeah, so that one time when I was pretty close, like I was gaining on him and I was getting underneath him and stuff, and then he something happened and we kind of broke away. And I gained him on a little bit, and then we kind of leveled out. If I could just get on the restarts, I think I would have some for him. But long run, we were there. Restarts, I'm actually horrible. So we'll go back to the shop and we'll figure it out.
Showalter's P2 here tonight. Finished at P3, Bobby Winans got the master crew chief over here, Alex Kirk, dialing this thing in. It only broke like 4 times before the green flag. I mean, somehow finished as 3rd. I mean, what happened on the last lap? It was melee.
Oh, well, I saw them going 3 wide, and they were pinching each other down, so I waited for it and waited for my opportunity. I cut it down under all 3 of them, and that set me up for P3.
P3, I mean, just multitude of problems. Alex was not on it tonight. I mean, what else do you need to get to Victory Lane tonight?
I need Alex to get it together. He's a weak link here.
I mean, that's normally how it works. Alex Kirk's struggle busting it, but Bob Winan not. P3, craziest DNQ race of all time.
Thank you.
Carroll Tractor and Trailer Repair Busch Series. It's the Busch Classic. Chris Lawson will be on the pole. Can he make it 2 for 2 here tonight in DNQ competition? He will be starting from the pole in this 50-lap event with Nick Stroop, the past Cup Series champion, on the outside pole.
Second row, Alex Lacanada and Anthony Kidwell, another heavy hitter here in DNQ.
Eric Riggins, another great driver in D&Q. Brian Shaw next row.
And we got some awesome shit happening here. We got the Outlaw, Ronnie Shirk in the 51, and Ryan Millington, one of our up-and-coming drivers in the 15.
The Mooresville Outlaw. Thomas Markham looking for a good run here. Matt Faulkner and Johnny O in the Craig Crossroads Smith machine.
That Brandon Connor we talked about earlier in the 22, and Jamie and Jenks in the 66.
Michael Reimer, whose head is way too big for that graphic, so let's shrink him up. And Jay Zarapata. Round out the field. Sent a lot of carts home for this one. I think we sent probably about 7 or 8 carts home. Starting the 18-cart field. Same rules as the Auto Loop and Repair Pro Cup Series. And here are the points. Top 10 in points. Those are the guys we're looking at. Your man Brian Shaw is on the bubble. Faulkner, Duncan, Murphy trying to get in that top 10.
Yeah, Shaw's got to get his act together here. I don't know if he's tuned himself out as we're on board with Will Monroe here. But Shaw typically wants to run the bottom. He wants to put his left front on that berm, and with the way the tread racing has worked out the last few weeks, that's not the fast line, and I think he's struggling with that. So maybe he can go and get his act together here as we're going. We're green here as Lawson's on the outside. He's trying to pass Stroop, but Stroop gets the lead into 1. Lawson hanging tough on the outside. They're side by side heading into 3.
See a little Lawson Stroop action here towards the front of the pack. Anthony Kidwell in that 17. We know how strong that cart is because Johnny just won in that feature. So see if he can carry the torch here and go 2 for 2 tonight in the Busch Series.
His cart looks good, and my man Brian Shaw there, he's running low, but he's not losing momentum. He's still in it here early on. We'll see how the track changes over the course of 50 whole laps here. See how pressures change, track dries out, and just see how it adjusts. But the top 3 are kind of building some momentum and pulling away from the rest of the field. They're looking like they want to decide this race amongst themselves.
It's amazing how a good run in this Winston Cup point system can help you get away from the guys that are around you in points. 1 third-place finish could catapult you 7 spots in points. It's ridiculous how this point system works, but that's what made this Cup Series point system so great, and that's why we use it here in D&Q.
Yeah, absolutely. Will Monroe here giving us a good view of what's happening out there on the track at the moment. Track's drying out a little bit as one of the last features of the night gets rolling here. It draws people. You said we sent 7 or 8 go-karts home tonight. People want to run here because of what we're doing, and DNQ's doing it right. It puts on a great show for the fans. The drivers love participating, and it builds some excitement for the end of the year system we have here for the war. Busch versus Pro Cup.
So we talked about that earlier. Now we know that Riggins and Stroop probably will drop out of this series. Where do you think the champion comes from? I mean, we've seen both of these series race tonight, and you see your competition lining up. Who do you got? I mean, who do you think is going to do it, and from what series?
I really think it's got to be one of the Kidwells. They're kind of like the 1B to like the Stroop and the Lawson 1A right now, where people like Stroop may not run the series full time, and people like the Kidwells are really investing time and R&D into their setups and into their preparation. I think they're next to inherit the throne, so to speak, of the Kings, the top dogs of D&Q.
Yeah, I look at Chris Lawson, and if he can make those final 3 races, he might be the guy that we're talking about at the end of the year as well. But like I said, personal schedules and stuff really change things here in D&Q, and just trying to make it for those 3 races. I mean, we're looking at the Iredell County Fair. And then the season finale this year will be the road course, which had to change some schedules there. But, man, this is getting pretty interesting here in the Carroll Tractor and Trailer Repair Busch Series. And once we see all those guys converge, it ought to be interesting. And the ARCA Championship. We get to watch guys outside the top 10 who we don't normally talk about run for that championship as well.
Yeah, and with the way it's shaking out, people having to choose, that you're not going to have a bunch of scrubs as Connor is side by side here with Alex Lacanada started 30. He's fallen back to 5th here, but he's hanging on with D&Q's finest, top performers like Connor, and then the gentleman that inherited Craig Crossthread Smith's ride here, he's putting them both back 2 spots.
Lacanada feeds the left rear to Eric Riggins there for whatever reason. Just let him have it. It's street, little domestic violence over here in
Right.
turn 1 and 2 as we go on board with Will Monroe. who's in the middle of this battle. Like watching Millington and Alex race it out here.
Yeah, Millington, I remember 2020, he came on the scene, and I think he finished first or second one of the first road course races we ever had, and we were calling his name a lot, but I don't think he's been attending every single race, but when he does show up, he's a name we're calling towards the front of these packs, but we'll see if he can get in line, get past Alex here, and maybe make a run for the front as he sends it down the inside. Slide job city, uses up Alex Lacanat on the outside as we're back to the front with Kidwell here running down Lawson, giving him everything he can handle right now.
Yeah, Anthony Kidwell, getting a headache. Kidwell to the inside of Lawson, trying to make that move. Lawson has a good piece here tonight, and Kidwell we know has a really good piece. It's only a matter of time before he gets around Lawson, but 50 laps here. This is the 7th annual Busch Classic. I mean, we're talking about an epic legacy race here, Jay-Z, and this is one of the ones that you want to win, and that's can be no clearer than watching these guys race right here for about 15.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh no! Over his head.
Austin Compton, last year's Pro Cup champion, goes around, going to bring out the caution. That is a nasty wreck, Jay-Z. Looks like he appears to be okay, but that is a tough wreck. That's one you don't want to see ever happen here in D&Q. Let's take a look at it again.
Yeah, it's just a mess here. We're talking about running for 15th. We got Millington in the bottom. A couple people, I think Austin Compton just pushed up, got into the left rear of Alex Lacagnata and ended up in the fence and turning over. That line on the exit of 4 will tighten up on you. It seems like you can get 5, 6 carts side by side through 3 and 4 until you get to the exit, and then it only wants 2 carts at the most. So glad to see he's okay. That wall comes up on you quick here is, oof. You can see the fence shake from the contact there as you go slow-mo one more time.
Looks like he was trying to, maybe he's getting free, he's turned right, maybe he was trying to wreck Alex Lacagnata, not sure. But that wall came up quick.
You could see Lacagnata get the junior driver lean on with his head going all the way left as he was starting to turn down too. So I think that might
tough
just
break.
Tough break for Alex Compton. Just not understanding the newcomer he's racing around and sniffing that out. I'm glad he's okay as Lawson
He's
tries
still racing.
Oh,
he is still going. The steering wheel's bent and everything. He's out here still making laps, so that's pretty wild if you ask me. But still out there running.
Get that man a beer. He's going to need it.
He's going to need about 7 of them after this race is over. It's a past champion for you. He's doing what he's got to do to get these points, trying to win another championship. And, we talked about it earlier with these guys racing in these series as we see Brian Shaw up towards the top 5, Jay-Z, but so we got another caution out on the racetrack. Bumper. Left rear hop stopper.
Okay.
Yeah. Little debris. Jacques debris. Try this again. Ronnie Shirk was out of line there, so he'll go to the back. The Mooresville Outlaw. Going to pay the price for that one.
Yep.
Breaking the law. We're working on the rules for the restarts. Obviously we got to get a little bit better, clearer message, but it was clearly made evident that he was out of line there, and we have really told these guys before the start of the night that you can't be doing that. So back green, watching the racing, and Johnny O in the 92 Craig Smith's machine running second. And Johnny O's a pretty talented driver, but to see him in subpar equipment, that's the cart I used to own. So I know what he's racing in and how old it is. It's won a couple D&Q races, but Johnny O, it's using a mileaged out 2008 Phantom there. Doing a great job.
Hey, different courses and different horses and horses for jockeys, I guess. It just goes to show that if you get that stagger, you get those tires set right, that cart scales out right, you can be fast as we're on it here on the bottom. Shirk in the 51, he passes 2 in 1 shot here. Alex Lacanata just trying to hang on for dear life. He gets left rear to get and gets sent around here in turn 4.
Yeah, Alex is a hard person to pass, so I'm not surprised that just happened right there. It's Brandon Connor driving for a driver there in a sub roll as we're watching Anthony Kidwell try to work his way back up towards the front. Look at Jay Zarpata and Matt Faulkner there, and we're going to go crank it up for you guys at home. funny.
Just still running sixth.
Yeah, hope you enjoyed D&Q Crank It Up there. Sounded like somebody's mowing their lawn outside here for the Carroll Tractor Trailer Fair Busch Series. Busch Classic 50-lap race here, and Ashley Burnett loves 50-lap go-kart races. You got to thank Millbridge Speedway, got to thank the Burnetts, and Hall of Fame class coming out soon. We've got 5 new Hall of Fame members, Jay-Z. Big deal. Big deal, some of the names on that on those ballots there, and 5 of those lucky members will be entered into the Hall of Fame. We'll announce those next video. But, man, we've got such amazing members that have made D&Q what it is today, as we're on board Will Monroe. And we want to honor them the best we can with the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it's not just drivers that have made this series what it is. It's team owners, it's track promoters, it's track prep crew. There's a lot of people that have really helped make this series what it is, and I think you guys will be happy when you see what some of these people are that have earned the right to be in the D&Q Hall of Fame, and I don't think anyone will have a problem with who gets inducted this time around.
Yeah, it's crazy some of the guys that have been on the ballot that missed it last year that are on it this year. Drew Herring, one of those guys, just has a lot of D&Q wins, just didn't make it on votes. You got to get online and vote for who you guys think needs to be in the Hall of Fame for 2023. And, some of those names will be back on there again. So if not this year, next year or the years after that. And one guy that's going to be in the Hall of Fame is Nick Stroop here, and he has got one heck of a lead over Johnny Oliveira.
Yeah, he's just waxing that ass right now. And I think that's overshadowing the performance Oliveira is putting in right now in that Craig machine here. Is this our 5 to go caution?
Yes, it is. And the other one that's amazing to me is Thomas Markham, who is in third. Yes. Now, he chose a top as well, but Thomas back Markham is in the front Markham. So he's a front Markham here. We'll see how this restart goes for him as Riggins gets to the front, tries to throw the slider on Stroop, can't quite make it happen. Markham gets in Stroop's left rear. We've got a little bit of a mess towards the back of this field here on this restart.
Yeah, it's tough. Chris Lawson got shuffled back there a few restarts ago. He's back up to 4th. He's on the back bump of that. Is that Millington there in the 15?
That's Thomas Markham there.
Thomas Markham. Okay, Thomas
doing a great job. They have the exact same paint scheme, so I can see how it gets messed up.
Yes,
Anthony Kidwell gets hit in the left rear, going to fall all the way to the back. Tough break for him. As Stroop leads, Riggins in second, Thomas Markham having the run of the season here in that 15 machine. Has run the same body for 5 years. It looks like it's been the same body with Chris Lawson on his back as a white flag is out.
What a great run here. What about the surprises here is Stroop putting a hurting on him. He's going to put his name on the trophy for the 7th annual Busch Classic.
Check. Down here in Victory Lane, Nick Stroop, the winner of the Busch Classic, 50 laps. War of attrition, man. This thing was dialed in. Talk about this high rod, just domination out there.
Yeah, I got to thank my brother for being the guinea pig for what we were trying. It was in the right track, but we knew what we needed to do for this long race. I just kept getting better and better as the runs went on. And, man, it was on rails. I never even turned the steering wheel, it seemed like. So made my job easy. Didn't even fall out of the seat because I'd have to work for it.
The 5 to go caution's always hairy. You never know what's going to happen. Back of your head, you choose inside, choose outside. What's the decision there?
I got to choose outside. That's where momentum's at. But I really thought somebody before 4th was going to pull in there because the last person I wanted to see was Riggins. He did exactly what I thought he was going to, but he was nice. He gave it back to me in the backstretch. But it was a good race. Somebody climbed my left rear there coming to the white, I guess, or coming 4 to go, I guess. But, yeah, it was a good race. Enjoyed it.
Nick Stroop, winner of the Busch Classic here at Millbridge Speedway. Eric Riggins Jr., solid P2. You tried to wreck him on the restart. You gave it back to him. At least you're nice about it.
I threw it in there. I'll tell all of them if I'm there in that situation, I'm gonna drive it straight to the bottom and try to get up in front of them. That was my only shot. I got buried in traffic the whole race, beating and banging for like 10th at one point, and then
somebody caught a cart to the face. That was crazy.
Yeah, that was interesting. It was bumper cars there for the middle part of the race, but we had the restarts where I could just get in the top line and go by them because it was just really one lane. But pretty thrilled with P2, honestly, considering where I've been tonight. So we'll take it and move on.
Eric Riggins, solid second place.
Go for it.
Thomas Markham, a solid P3, much needed P3, man. Talk about it.
Oh, yeah. It was great. Once I got off the bottom line, got to the top, everything just clicked. Everything worked great. Tires came in after a little bit and fell back to the back and came up to third. So, can't complain.
Being and banging, you jumped about 18 left rears, it looked like.
That's why I had the bumper there.
That's right, DAQ series, but it's good to see you running P3. Who do you got to thank for this thing?
Got to thank my dad for coming out. Can't thank my brother. He hasn't come to a race this season, but he got us into it, so I guess I'll give him a shout out. Yeah.
Thomas Markham, P3 here tonight.
All right, JC, let's take a look at the USAC Fit Stop Performance Feature. Dick Timmons takes home the win. The driver we wanted to talk about was Aaron Hodges with a solid top 4 finish after getting in an early wreck.
Yeah, it just goes to show that these cage carts are bringing, these champ buggies are bringing people out to the sport. It's a competitive class we've been talking about all night, and to finish in front of a Kidwell, your Williams, and be chasing Melton and Welch and Timmons, who showed what he can do. Very impressive performance for Aaron Hodges here, showing up for the Fit Stop Performance USAC Series race.
Let's take a look at the Auto Lube and Repair Pro Cup Series. John Kidwell gets it done. Ryan Ayers, a solid top 4 finish, one of those drivers that needed this to get in the top 10 points.
Yeah, it was a really good race here. We're talking about that shakeout between the war here and deciding who the best driver in the entire series is going to be. Murphy was up there all night. He ended up finishing in 5th place. I think his kart was a little bit better than that in that beef-tip prepared machine. Connor, who we talked about, eked out that top 3 with some nice moves late in the race. Good racing all around him, and I'm interested to see how the next 2 races pan out here.
Solid run by Jared Norris and just a rookie startup deal in the top 10. Escape Pool Cup Series feature. One of the wildest ones we've ever seen, but James Stanley Jr. is going to be our standout here. Hasn't run this series at all. Comes back after a fine, paces fine. First start back, almost in the top 5, and competing for a win.
Yeah, he was up there at the end. Remember, this is the best finish we've had in D&Q in years, and Escape Pool Cleaning picked a heck of a series to sponsor here. I know the fans got their money's worth, but, Welch, Showalter, Bailey, Stanley, Route even, Chaffee was up there for a little bit. Everyone had a chance at a win here, and Stanley had a great performance for pretty much the entire race, except for those last 3 laps that got real crazy.
Finish Line Wash Pros Dash Series, Chris Lawson, Robert Showalter had one heck of a race. Blaine Donahue, a top 5 though, very good run for him.
Yeah, we're talking about sending people home in this class, and it takes sort of a different skill set to run Finish Line Wash Pros Dash Series without the stagger that you normally have. So have him show up, have Blaine run top 5, chasing people like Showalter and Lawson, very good run for him.
The race we just watched, the 7th annual Busch Classic, Nick Stroop, great run. We talked to Thomas Markham in our post-race interview, but Johnny O, I know what he's racing. I know what I've done to that chassis. Really good run in 5th. I mean, you can't, you look at that thing there, it's pretty rough, and he did a very good job.
I feel like that's one of those deals where he's like, I don't know what to do. I didn't expect to be here. You know what I mean? He was running P2 for a while up there out front, and guys like Lawson and Kidwell, who fell back in the middle of the race here, were dominating at one point, and he inserted himself at the front. So very good run, working on that aged equipment, subbing in a kart that's normally not prepared for him. Awesome run by Johnny O.
Austin Compton finishing 8th after getting a Hoosier to the face.
Right?
Finishing the race. Great finish.
Right, maybe Ronnie Carroll here can, in addition to his tractor and trailer repair business, start up some sort of physical therapy on the side for these people that keep getting drop kicked in the face and finish in the top 10 at the end of the night.
We're glad you're right, Austin. Glad to see you continue and finish the race. Pro Cup top 10 points. We talked about Ryan Ayers having a great finish in that Pro Cup Series feature. We talked about Jared Norris having a good finish. Now you see what that does in the points, and Eric Yost not in fully, Ryan Ayers not in fully, and you can lose 28 points in a hurry with this Winston Cup point system. So What piques your interest here, Jay-Z, as you look at some of them?
You know what? I'm looking at that young motorsports machine of Dylan Teasley here. He was solidly in by a few points, but just didn't make it out tonight. I don't know if he had other plans.
He ran the Busch Series race instead of the Pro Cup race.
Oh, man. Well,
So,
it was obviously
I
a
don't know why he
mistake
did that,
because
but-
we didn't call his name the entire night. So he obviously picked the right one or the wrong one. So it's tough. But, I know Widenin had a good run later tonight. So I know he's 50 points back. But it goes to show that, like you said, 2 good finishes in the top 3 or 4, and you're in there by a good margin. So, but we'll see if Allison can keep it up. Jay Zarapata, he's out here every single race doing what he can. A couple of good top 10 finishes, and he's in competing for a national championship. So, people like Zarapata, that's who I got my eye on right now.
Now let's take a look at the Busch Series top 10 in points. Ray Thies, the guy at 0. Alex Lacagata, who started 3rd, had such a good, looked like it was going to be a great night for him points-wise. Gets wrecked, gets punted to the back. He's 4 back. Lane Fields, he had a sub-driver in tonight. This could go anywhere. Thomas Markham had a really good run. I think he was like 20 back. He's now in 9th.
Yeah, like I said, 1 top 5, vault 2 to the front, and people like Lacagata, now you got to think about points racing, right? A lot of D&Q stuff, it's just hammer down, you drive through someone, try to finish the best you can, but if you're running 3rd or 4th and someone that's kind of rough is on the inside of you, maybe you have to think about checking up now and finishing 5th or 6th instead of getting relegated to the back and losing those points. So it's adding another dimension here to both the fair race, which can be kind of rough, as well as the road course, which throws a wrench in everyone's program. So it'll be interesting to see how veterans like Shaw and Markham pan out, and some newcomers like maybe Faulkner and Lacagata, if they can get some consistency and vault themselves into the playoffs here.
We'll see. It's going to be one heck of a battle right to the very end at the road course to figure out who our 20 guys are racing for a national championship. Well, Jay-Z, I want to thank you for once again jumping on board here with the D&Q karting series and commentating this race, and want to thank everybody who watches on the YouTube channel. A great night of racing.
Yeah, awesome night here. All of our sponsors, thank you. Carroll Tractor and Trailer Repair, Escape Pool Cleaning, Finish Line Wash Pros, Fit Stop Performance. Who else am I forgetting here?
I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention.
Either way, great people like that are what help make this series awesome, help keep people coming to the series races, sending people home. Thanks to Jeremy and Ashley for great track prep as always, helping keep the show exciting. And thank you all the drivers and their families for coming out and helping put on a great show for us to call.
Well, we'll see you guys at the next race, and pretty much excited to see what happens here at the end of the season. For Jay-Z, I'm Bob Duato. We're signing off. We'll see you at the next one.
Awesome.